Guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. Today we are only going to look at the current trading range for BTC and ETH and possible trades to take. If you like the content, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Without further ado, let's start diving in, and we are looking at BTC USD first, and that is then on the 4-hour. Few very interesting areas that we have above and underneath us. Let's first look at the bull scenario. If we are going higher, then I have this bigger box and the yellow line. The yellow line is absolute top, 25,200, but the bigger box came in actually from a period where you can see that we had the tops here in July and August. And that was clearly a resistance point. Here's just a shallow touch. Here you see it a little bit clearer in the on the 4-hour, the third touch that was really sometimes spent in this area. So it's a little bit of a bigger area, starting off from approximately 24,200 to 25,200. But if we enter that again, I will see it as a resistance, and if we get the clear signs, I will definitely short it. Of course, we can also just go higher, take out that high, and then to go lower again at 25,200. That will definitely be a short. Just above us, or above that level, we have a bigger golden pocket, 25,990. You know what? Let's say 26,000 to 26,500. Also quite the big range. That actually is measured from the top right here that we put in, and that is on 30th of May or 31st, and then measured all the way from the bear market bottom, approximately 15,500. But this area right here, there's just not so much trading volume. So I think that once we breach this 25,200, it's a quick move up to the approximately 28, 29,000. That will be major resistance. Alright, back to the trading range. Let's take this Fibonacci retracement out because we have taken the liquidity from the top. Again, doesn't mean that we cannot do it again. So if we are going higher, then we could also take liquidity here and then eventually go lower. But actually the liquidity underneath us is more interesting. We're having a wick here, we're having some liquidity here. This one is actually technically being taken out by this one, but of course this is then also the liquidity. We could dump, take liquidity and then go higher. Then the first target would be the value area high of this range. You can also see this thicker blue line, this is the value area high of that very big range. So nice to see that it comes together at approximately the same level, 23,200 and no, let's say 23,200 to 23,250. And of course, what also a lot of traders will be looking at is maybe this, let's say we are going higher, and then finally putting in that lower high at 23,400, and then to go lower. This was then the bearish retest. This was then absolutely the top, trying to make a new top, textbook reversal, and then eventually go higher. I will not be just only focused on taking out these highs. If we are going higher and we reject from here, then I also will enter a short on the 4-hour. Just if we're looking at the indicator, we also talked about this in yesterday's video. You can see the money flow is coming down, the momentum waves are coming down, but Bitcoin is Bitcoin. So if we have one or two green candles, then this could move up again, and then still the money flow could be around the zero line. So just because we're moving down doesn't mean we are going to dump right away, just to have that clear. Let's say we are going lower. Few very interesting levels. Here I have 21,477. That is the high from the top that we put in here on 5th of November. And also you can see that it matches with the high area of the trading range right here. It is hanging above the value area high, but if we are going lower and we are breaking this area right here, then I will be looking out for a bounce around this level, 21,500 ish. Could be also a little bit lower, maybe that we are testing this value area high. So therefore I would say let's draw a box, and that will then be my support and resistance area, or at least to seriously look for a long. if we are hitting it, then we're talking about a drawdown of approximately 7%, maybe even lower if we go to the value area low. I think that's quite far actually, 20,600, but then we're talking about 10%. Well, if we are breaking that as well, then of course we are really back into a bigger trace mode, and then we're looking at approximately 18 or 19,000. For now, we are just looking at the range and we're trading the range, but since we are quite close to the low of the range, I think it is important that we need to keep an eye out for what if we are starting to lose the range, so we are going lower, maybe with the FOMC meeting. What is then the next level of support? Then I would really be looking out for approximately 21,500. Just keep that in mind. And again, then on the top we have the golden pocket taking out the high here or really into the box, and underneath we then have it taking out the low or really that's lower at 21,500. So 5 possible scenarios for me for BTC. Then quickly to ETH. I want to start off with a much bigger time frame. This is ETH USDT on Binance on the 4-hour. But I draw a gigantic fib retracement that is measured from this top right here that we put in on 14th or 15th of August all the way down to this low right here. This was not the bear market low, but it was a very significant low at shy of $1,000. Then back up, then you can see that we tapped once here in a golden pocket, and that is actually what I'm trying to show you. Not very long or not very deep into the golden pocket, but that is a very nice area to look at. And above us then we have another resistance area that is 1680. We also tapped it earlier, that is exactly this high. Then the next one, the major one, is 1790. Just above at 1826 we have the 78.6. So also here I would say this is a area or a box. If we get something like a bearish divergence in this area, we'll definitely trade it as a short. And then of course above us is the major high of 2030 if we reach it. But if Bitcoin starts pumping again, I think that this is going to skyrocket to the upside much faster, much more ferocious. Then actually I also don't think that we're going to bounce off here. I think we are going to breach it, maybe test it, and then eventually maybe top out at 78.6. So my eyes will be then at 1800. Let's say this was the top. A little bit of a weird top, to be honest, from just a technical chart perspective, because we are leaving liquidity here on the top, but we're also leaving liquidity here at the bottom. So it is kind of narrowing down. You could say, but it's not super clear and I would not be extremely focused on it, is that we are creating a bit of a triangle, a bit of a wedge, and we are getting more and more to the middle. But actually what you want to see is that if you are looking for a significant high to put in a short, that these two highs are maybe being taken out just above the value area high into the golden pocket 1700, or that level where we just talked about, maybe that 1790, and then just reverse again. If you're on the bull side and you think I'm completely wrong, then you actually also first want to see these lows being taken out. So then the lows would be 1500. So just dip below 1500 and then to go higher. That will be nice. Of course the targets on the top stay exactly the same as what I just mentioned before. But that is then something that you want to see for a very strong long position. And so far we haven't had that yet. What else do I have for you? Well, let's say we are really start to retrace. We do not have such a nice stair-stepping higher as we have for BTC, that we can say, hey, these are then kind of the trading ranges where we're waiting for to break or to act as support. This was really a bit more steeper up, and also now in this period of time, since halfway of January, we're kind of trading in the same range, and since halfway of January for BTC was at the price level of 20,000, and then now they're approximately 23,000. So you see that there is a bit of a difference and also a stair step in between. But then I would just classically take a fib retracement and then maybe put it on these lows right here. That is the first significant low. Yeah, this one is quite nice, or maybe this candle right here is also pretty nice. That candle rests at 1360. Then you can also see that this golden pocket is now perfectly lining up with taking out the liquidity underneath these lows. So then maybe go lower, golden pocket, take liquidity, boom, going higher. That actually would be super nice as a trade. If we, of course, we are breaking it, then I would also be just moving this a little bit more to other significant lows. Let's say something here, or even better is eventually the low here. But this is a real big retracement back. We're talking about 1350. And that is in percentages, we're talking about 15%. So that's not something that will happen overnight, but it is a very nice range because you have the top over here, you have these clusters over here, so a bit of an order block, and then your golden pocket 1350. So that is super nice, but like I said, that is quite the retracement. So for now, I really first want to see ETH making a decision, taking out the lows, liquidity, they're going higher, or first us going higher again, and then maybe taking out the highs here. So far I have not been trading it at all. Alright guys, that will be it for now. If you like the content, again, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share the video with your friends if you think that's useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm updating you there multiple times a day. Thank you guys so much. See you next one. Bye bye.